So, yeah, let's go to the next thing. I can do that, Keena. Value adjustment board, thank you, Randy. Teresa?
Vice Chairman, I'm requesting for the board to appoint two members of the board to the value adjustment, as well as a citizen member that owns Homestead.
Okay. The citizen last year was Gary Hartman.
Yes, sir.
Gary, you'll serve again, please? Yes, sir. Okay, so that's one. Oh, we can't do that today, though. But we can submit names.
Yeah.
We can submit names. Alan, you was on last year?
I've been on it every year.
I have been too. I mean, except for the last 2 years.
Well, you served the last year.
Yeah. Trey, Alan, Trey and Joe. That's a good experience.
It is a good experience.
Trey, do you want to, you'll meet 2 or 3 times and have a little, you want
Yeah,
to?
sure.
It's a great experience.
Let me and Mr. Gordon, we'll close down the Osprey thing.
You all right?
Yeah, that's fine with me. You do learn a lot,
Can we submit them names?
especially
Yes, sir.
last year.
Okay.
Can we put it on the consent?
Yes, ma'am, I think so. Yes, ma'am.
Who was the third person?
Commissioner Joyner,
Thank you.
we done with that?
Yes, sir.
You got the 3 names?
Yes.
FEMA coordinator. Is there anything about the FEMA coordinator? Sir?
I don't think I have anything to add.
I did have something for you. I asked Johnny a while ago. Johnny, did she get back with the number?
I talked to him, we're working on it.
Oh, you do, never mind. So we're working on it still? We'll have something by meeting probably?
Oh, yes, yeah.
Okay,
I'll probably hand you something this afternoon.
okay, great.
We're done here.
And
Public work, your public works supervisor.
Mr. Chairman?
We appointed Commissioner Joyner and Commissioner Costos, and the citizen is going to remain the same as Gary Hartman. Yeah, whatever their names are.
I know
You got anything, Johnny? Just a brief one. I'll be quick.
First thing, good news for you, Mr. Kent. Monday morning, we'll start hauling that asphalt again from the airport. And I'll try to
I made a
get,
call, I'm glad he called you back.
yes, sir. I'll get as many trucks as I can on that hauling. As most of y'all know, our low boy went up in flames. We're putting feelers out, getting quotes on replacement truck. I talked to Mr. Steve, and I totally agree with him. We're trying to stick with a early 2007 or older to get away from the tier 4, tier 2s and all that kind of stuff. Less hassle.
What went up in flames?
The low boy truck,
Oh, okay.
semi, the turbo blew up on it. And all.
No, was it?
96 Mac,
Yes,
Porter Low Boy.
I thought everybody knew.
I did know. Actually, I just thought it was a contractor when I turned around.
No, sir, it was us. It was us.
Because we don't haul
Right.
road graders, and that's what I seen it was on the back.
Well, we were taking it to the shop for some warranty work.
I got it, but at that point, I was happy that it wasn't ours because we don't do. But now with the insurance claim, this truck was insured.
Yes, sir.
If you took all of that money, how much more would you need to purchase a new tractor? Or do we need one? I mean, all I'm
No,
saying is,
no.
you buy something in here that I don't want to buy a piece of
Well,
crap.
and we're not, one company I'm looking at, they sell certified trucks. They go through them and they go through them with a fine tooth comb. There's one of the companies that's with us.
Yeah, what you've got is you don't utilize that truck a lot, but you do have 2 pieces of equipment that you need to move. The large excavator and the large bulldozer that you do move.
And the loaders too.
Yeah.
One of the
And the
loaders
loader.
there.
And then you have a garbage wagon at the recycle center that has to go to the landfill periodically. So therefore, the investment of a new truck is $120,000, $130,000. Now the truck, the current was a good truck, it was just old, and we're not going to get a lot of money out of it.
You don't know what we're going to get you.
The adjuster came out yesterday and looked at it, so we're waiting on him to get back with us.
Yeah, it
Y'all
was.
bump him some too.
Yeah, but, you don't need, I don't think we need to go for a new truck at this point.
No.
to buy, but still, we've just about got to handle one, you know, and it's,
All I'm saying is I don't want to put a Band-Aid on it.
That's, we're gonna look, we're gonna look at all
We're gonna
the
look at the truck somewhere probably in the $35,000-$45,000 range.
yeah.
And then we should track the insurance.
A third of the cost of
Good
it.
certified truck.
Will you get that much with your insurance check?
No,
No.
you'll be good.
$18,000 to $20,000 at the most.
Yeah, it was a 96, so they had.
96 model?
96.
Oh, I thought it was 2. I thought it was at 2,000.
$6,000.
I thought you said 2,000. So it's 90.
That's what we're looking at is those seven versus.
Okay.
And another, like Mr. Jones said, especially, we don't use it that often.
Well, I take it back.
I wouldn't want one sitting out there to use death fluid to be just sitting there, because that's gonna cause you problems.
Yeah, that,
Well, any of them just sitting out there is going to cause.
well, the depth fluid though, they don't do well sitting there. You gotta drive
But
that.
I'll take it back.
And Mr. Jones, as you know, I'm fixing your bridge today. Don't know if it'll be fixed today, but we're working on that.
Bridge over troubled waters.
Yes, sir. Everything's going pretty smooth. We're trying to get some stuff knocked out.
Johnny, did we get that bridge on Rock Hill?
Yes, sir. It was fixed yesterday and reopened yesterday afternoon. That one was fixed. That was, there again, that's one of ours that DOT doesn't inspect, that we had some broken stringers on and they went in there.
How about, if you will, Johnny, give this board kind of an overview of where we're at with our health situation, employees, the need of, the lack of, and,
Right now, we are down about, I think it's 5 or 6 employees, that due to, people retiring, quitting, getting arrested, different things, we've lost employees. And, we've been slow on getting them. Mr. Tom was wanting to look at the budget and everything before we really got into them. I'm down, well, we just hired a, patch truck, somebody to go on patch truck, and a boom operator for my side.
Got to have a patch truck.
Yes, sir. We hadn't had one in a while, and we've been stopping stuff to do that. We are down right now critical on 3 dump truck operators, heavy ones. And we were hoping to, when we done interviews for the patch truck and the boom mower, there was 3 applicants, and if all 3 of them looked good, we were gonna go ahead and just pull from that and put one on a dump truck, but unfortunately, one of them didn't show up for an interview, so we kind of threw that one out. Like I say, we've got that we're really looking at trying to get
We're in
filled.
the process of reviewing our employee base there and how they're being utilized. And we're going to take a good look at that and make sure that we're covering our processes the way we need to and determine how many more people we need.
Yeah, well, I mean, just Johnny, last week, last month, I mean, we tasked you with 2 additional employees, and if we're not giving you what we need, shame on us. So we bought 2 new tractors and 2 new mowers, and I want them things manned.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I do. So if we're not giving you what you need, I mean, I want to.
Right now, I don't have anybody now. We're working on hiring another one that we can put on there, and as soon as he gets here, that's what I'm gonna put him on.
If you need some action from this board, I'm sure that you
Yes,
got
sir.
our attention.
And we've been trying to look at our budget and get everything squared away. Mr. Tom, like I said, he was on top of that, and now that we've lost him, we're trying to.
I mean, we can get your budget at any moment that you need what you've got left over.
Well, all these positions are in our budget for the last year, so it's
Yeah.
not adding anything to our budget.
Yeah. If human resource, we can, that man right down there can get you.
We've hired 2.
Yes, sir. Well, we've hired 2 HEO ones, and then we've hired 2 inmate crew supervisors. So that's gonna help out great, getting,
Right.
especially the inmate supervisors back, just keeping all the grass good.
And we've hired 3, but one of them didn't come through like we'd expected. We wanted to, instead of going back and revisiting advertising, if we had the proper candidates, we were going to go ahead and extend it out, and one of them didn't pan through, so probably going to have to go back to the drawing board. But in the process, we're evaluating our employee base now to make sure we know exactly what we need, where we need it.
If I can help you.
we do, and they're evaluating it. I just wanted the board aware of it, that we are down actually a few people and limited to the amount of work we can do at the time.
I'm not going to speak for the rest of this board, but 90% of the phone calls I receive is either about grass or the lack of road maintenance
Well, we've had
to
a good-
satisfactory. So I'm just telling you, 90% of the public ought to like it, so if that's where we're at. I think all of us.
If we could cut hay on the side of the roads,
This rain,
we'd
oh
be
my
in business.
goodness. This rain we're getting almost every day. It's
Yes.
And I will tell you this, the 2 new tractors next week, we'll have both of them by next week, but we won't have the mowers until probably the week after. So those mowers include 2 15-foot bat wings, bush hogs, and 1 10-foot flex deck
to
for the
put on
smaller.
another tractor though, right?
Yes, and we got it there at the yard.
And we plan on hitting the ground running with them as soon as they get here.
We should get people hired in place to put them on there. You know what I mean?
Put them through some training, and if you can get them ahead of time.
I got a Mud Hill landfill that needs mowing right now, it's gonna be their training ground.
Good, good.
That's all I got, y'all got anything?
Johnny and Danny, I just want to thank y'all for taking care of the park there across from the church on Pond Road, and people were very appreciative of it. And the woman had called and asked us if we could help her out trying to get ready for that program that
Yes,
year. She said it was above and beyond. So
Well,
just wanted to share that.
We got to looking back, we cannot find an easement for that property. We built the bathrooms and all inmates built it, so that at one time, however long ago that was. So we are going to be working on getting that taken care of, so.
Yeah, well, initially I thought it belonged to the church, and then David Corbin said, no, it belongs to the county. And then it wasn't until I talked to her that she said, no, it's actually it's under a 99-year lease from the church to the county.
Okay.
I
So
don't think we have any issue.
That's, we can get that taken care of.
I didn't want to get into all that.
That's just a little paperwork.
We can research
Yeah,
that.
how
I just
that
want to let you
started.
know they were very thankful and they bragged, and I want to make sure,
Yeah,
it get, you know.
I think that lady came out and met with George Swaggart and Jerry Walter that were doing it,
Mhm.
and told them how much they appreciated it. So,
She said that she had been working on her lawnmower 5 hours trying to get it running, because she always mowed it. She said, I just can't. Is there any way you could, help us out? So, I said, well, that's good to be, you've been mowing our park for us, but yeah, we'll be able to do that.
yes, well, that's all I got.
So we got 40 others, you know what?
Yeah.
What do y'all want to do? 11:30.
Well, let's carry on with
Break
it.
and go with it.
I don't know. What do y'all think? Jeff's gonna take a long time. He's not?
I hope not.
Well, let's move on.
Cliff?
Yeah, don't let him eat. It'll take forever if he eats.
We'll be done by 12.
Good morning, Commissioners. Ms. Bell, Ms. Risha, Jeff, congratulations. Look forward to working with you, or continuing to work with you. I got about 6 or 7 items. I'll go through them pretty quick. First thing I wanted to put on here is the King Cutter Road. We opened bids on July 24th. We plan on awarding it at your next meeting, which I think is the 26th or 7th, something like that.
Next week.
Everybody got equipment out on the side.
No.
Yes, sir, they're out there working.
Yeah, I went there and looked at it.
There's
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me back up. Yeah. Let me back up.
That's like here.
I had my notes also. I had my notes
We
real
better
bad,
call
sorry.
your contract.
Yeah. Okay, all right.
Slow down, Cliff, you kind of getting like.
Yeah. Let me start over. Kirkland Road.
There you go.
That's better.
Yeah, sorry. We opened bids on July 24th. Yes, King Cutter Road, I was out there this morning with the contractor. Yes, we started them last week.
Yeah, they look good.
Yeah, they got the curbs all formed up. They're pouring curb tomorrow. He says they should be done within a week and a half, 2 weeks. We do have an issue down there that we went over this morning with him, or with the superintendent. The head walls that are on the roadway were poured so low that the shoulders of the road dropped straight off to the tops of the head walls. I'd like to see about getting a price from the contractor to raise those head walls about 3 feet, which would give us a lot more room when you pass the creek crossing. I don't know what his exact cost would be, but I told him this morning that I'd like to see about trying to get a price from him to see if you guys would approve him to raise the head walls. They need to be raised about 3 feet on each side,
What's the length of the head walls?
about 25 feet.
How many culverts?
It's, I think 2 culverts are there right now, but the existing head wall is about 10 inches wide. And so went over with them this morning that we would put 2 number 5 bars every 16 inches vertically all the way through it, and then some horizontal bars.
Horizontal bars to what? To build?
To raise the head wall.
Horizontal bounds longitudinal?
Yes, sir.
But no dead men or anything like that?
No, but instead of dialing in one number 5,
Right.
we dial in 2 number 5s because the head wall is wide enough right now, we can get enough clear cover to make it work. And so,
There's also a culvert right around from going back to Two Creek Road.
that's right.
That is, it's something we make a handle in-house. Sometimes we'll talk to Johnny and Danny about, but if not,
Needs
if we,
head walls.
it needs it bad.
Yeah.
It's useless to put that kind of money into
Right.
low water crossing there and then right around the curve, you can't get through it, you know,
Right.
so I want that road fixed so we ain't gotta worry about it.
Well, if you guys would be interested, I can give them the price out head walls to put on that at the same time. They're gonna have the steel and equipment and everything down there, 4 on 1, they can pour 2.
Yeah, so
You've got the money?
I thought it was your district.
Not sure. No, but I would get a bit, well,
We'll get a price for it.
Yeah, okay.
For one, and then, just keep them separated.
Okay, I'll get pricing on both of them.
Yeah.
But anyways, they're doing a good job, coming along good, and I think that's gonna be a great project that should last a long, long time when they get done.
just watch what you do that affects downstream.
Yeah, this is affecting downstream, it's washing clay downstream when it goes over that road, it just washes the road, slamming away.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
You got a downstream property owner there
You think?
that monitors that pretty close.
So, on our FEMA rock, they are dumping rock on Ferguson Road. They'll be mixing it tomorrow. Stillwater and Shores Drive are the only 2 left with no rock on them. Today, they're mixing Taunton Drive and Quail Run Road. Should be done this afternoon with that, and then tomorrow they'll be mixing over on Ferguson. So they'll be done, pretty confident they'll be done next week. Guessing probably, they say early next week, I say probably late next week, but in either case, they're going to be well in advance of the August 1st deadline. And then I spoke with Commissioner Kent about trying to guesstimate the amount of their last invoice or the amount that they have remaining in their contract. On a lot of these projects, we have reduced the amount of rock on the roads that FEMA gave you. In many cases, FEMA gave you way more rock on your roads than what we could possibly mix and compact and keep all your constituents happy. And so we've reduced the rock quite a bit. So far, we've approved $2,421,041.09 in work so far. And the original contract was $3,524,333.45, which is a difference of $1,103,292. And so, they've only got roughly a week left of work, and right now you're about $1,103,000 under budget from what the original contract award was. Pretty much all of that difference, minus the work they're doing this week, is the rock that we've reduced on these roads. And so,
Cliff, what about Roland? We talked about that a little bit. We're gonna try to go back and finish that with that rock.
was speaking with Johnny this morning. Roland Road, Roland, has about 2,886 cubic yards of rock that have not been put on it. I think there was a little bit of confusion with contract A and B. We pulled that work out of contract A and B that C.W. Roberts did from direction that we got. And now we're kind of figuring out now that rock still needs to be placed. And so we got 2,800 cubic yards that needs to get out in the next couple of weeks.
Can they do it?
Well, I did talk to Bang with C.W. Roberts. They're supposed to be meeting with their boss man today.
What about the people that's doing it now?
That's another option. Yes, sir.
Why wouldn't you just give it to the ones that's doing it now? And let them rock on,
We could. We certainly can.
rather than starting another.
Well, it wouldn't be starting another one. We actually have completed closing out the contract with C.W.
Are they
Roberts.
still working?
No, they are not still
Why
working
would you
there.
dispatch them back up here when you've got somebody already running?
Well, it's their contract, I think what Cliff's saying.
Well,
No, it's somebody's contract. They pull it off.
Yeah, so when we originally bid out all those rock jobs, it was included. And we had to rebid it. When we rebid it, we pulled it out because,
I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
yeah, so, we were under the impression, I think, that the county had already handled that part of the rock, but they hadn't. So I've got kind of two ways that we could do it, either C.W. Roberts or Graham Land Company, either one should be able to do it.
So when will you get back from CW?
Yeah, I'll have certainly a change order request to you guys by next Thursday, either way.
Okay.
Do you think they'll load their equipment for that small job?
It's a pretty good sized
Either
job.
one of them
So-
contracts legally, right, Jeff?
Yeah. So as long as it's done by
If you, if you'll just put it on the agenda, we can talk about it next
Only
Thursday.
got 3 pieces.
Okay.
Really, it's factory.
Yeah.
That's, you know,
I just
100
want to make sure that they can do it. I don't have a
Right.
problem letting them when people already, you know, mixing too.
Right, that's right. The time frame is an issue too.
Yeah.
So,
If they can handle it, great. If not, we'll just keep on.
yeah. So either way, I'll have something too. Just a couple other quick things. I know we applied for an advanced funding agreement from DOT for Kent Road. Ms. Karen is not here. That's okay. Just as soon as we hear back from DOT that agreement's approved, Tommy with Southeastern is ready to go with the survey.
That was an issue last month. We just going to check with him and what's the holdup on that?
Yeah, I have no idea. No idea. But I know Tommy calls me pretty regular, wanting to know when he can go.
I asked about this 4 months ago, and when we was going to start this, I just don't know what the holdup is.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm not hold up. So, anyways,
We're going to screw around and it's going to be into that time frame anyway, instead of trying to have it done early.
yeah.
Really?
So, anyways, just throwing that out there, that's still hanging out there, something we need to get going on. I don't know where the agreement is. I have no
No,
idea.
she hasn't heard anything.
Okay.
Can we make a phone call? Let me ask you, would you make a phone call and
Yes.
find out what the holdup on Kent Road is to get this early funding, to have this, what we're trying to do is establish a path of having this Kent Road paved. It's already been approved, it's the next year's budget, we've asked for the money ahead of time to be able to get the survey done and some of the alignment work.
Right.
I'll be glad to.
All right, a couple other quick updates. Bonnet Pond Road, which is the section from Pioneer Road headed north. You should be getting your agreement from DOT on that pretty much any time. I'd like to get a proposal before you guys to get approved so that once your DOT agreement is executed, we can go ahead and get started with work. DOT's kind of already set the amounts for Obi Street and Bonnet Pond Road. And so I don't know if you're agreeable or not agreeable, but I'd like to maybe send those to you so that we can try to get them on the agenda. Now we can do it next month. If you want to wait till next month, it doesn't matter to me, but the agreement should be coming out pretty soon with DOT.
So what's going to
Any concern?
Until we get the agreement, I don't want to start.
Yeah.
I just don't want us to hold up a
I don't either.
project
I don't
because of board action.
Obi Street.
I don't either.
Is that Ebro, Obi Street?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Widen and resurface it.
Good. Man, I just got a phone call about trimming that, so I'll tell them we'll take care of that with widening.
We're gonna put a bid item in there for a
Appreciate you
moment.
calling.
Well, you'll be able
I'm going to pay it while you're down there. Don't
Yeah,
widen
we
it.
need to go ahead with that.
Yeah, I don't see us holding up.
Just
I mean, I'm not gonna do any work until you guys' agreement's executed, but I don't wanna be in a situation where you get the agreement and then it's a month later before we get started.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
You've got a good week, we should have a little more information about next Thursday.
Okay.
But I'd say put that on the agenda.
Yeah, we'll put it on the agenda, I don't have no issue with that, but I'm sure we'll have enough information.
And then the only other two projects that DOT has lined up for you right now is you got Buckhorn Boulevard Engineering for 2021. So you got ways on that one.
Buckhorn Boulevard,
Yes, sir.
2021.
Yep.
That's not too far away.
And then you got Alford Road, Alford Highway, paved shoulders.
Widen it. Are they going to pave the whole thing too, recover it? Or
No,
just
no.
widen it?
Don't know. DOT's using their, some contract they have for the engineering. So I don't know really anything about it, but
I would like to ask one more thing that pertains but doesn't pertain, and I want this out there in front of everybody.
okay.
I had asked, we received an email from the Department of Transportation where they was gonna, this is not a county road, okay? Where they was gonna go in there and build up Interstate 10, all 4 lanes and shoulders from Holmes County, where the exit sign is, or where they get off Nome, come all the way through Washington County to to our on-ramp. Covered it all, gonna remill it and resurface it. And I have asked previous staff to check with DOT, and I was even told that they met with them. I want to know, before they award this bid, can they allocate us to have all the millings off of this? I know that that's not their normal procedure, but maybe we can give them a change of procedure. I would like to see if we can get all the millings off of that project, state project, for Washington County. That's what I would like to ask them. What do we need to do with that? Is that something, Jeff, you can look into?
We've got to find out.
I've got the email, and
Yeah, I'd like to see
I
it.
can even forward that to you. But I want to meet with them people, because it said if you had any questions or any concerns about this project, I want that bill in for us. I know that it's not their normal procedure. Their normal procedure is to give the contractor, but they haven't let the contractor have that yet. So maybe they can take that out of their, take it out of the contract and give it to us.
And just have a truck underneath the chipper to put it underneath it.
However, it needs to happen. But that, I mean, that's a lot of milled asphalt from, I mean.
From where to where now?
Interstate 10.
10 miles?
Holmes County is more than that. Holmes,
8 miles, actually.
on-ramp to Holmes County, off-ramp, coming all the way to Chipley, going to cover our off and on there.
Oh, okay, on I-10.
On Interstate 10, both sides.
That's good asphalt too.
That's coming up this year, 19.
Yeah, they want to do night work too.
It's 19, yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm not sure the best direction to go, but I would talk to Mr. Philip Gainer is what I would do. I'd send a
I
letter
just want-
to him or something.
My main thing is just find out, if we can find out who Hank talked to,
I've got the email saved.
and then just make sure
I
that,
don't know that it's on this thing.
I hate duplicating it.
It's not sideways, I promise you it's not.
Yeah, I'll certainly help in any way I can to make that happen, but Mr. Gainer's probably going to be the key to
If
that.
y'all would talk,
Yeah.
and I do have an email, I don't know if it's on this thing now. But anyway. My best guess on closing out your FEMA rock project, I think I skipped around a little bit, but my best guess on closing that out is you're probably gonna have somewhere around maybe 300 to 400,000 of invoices remaining to close that job out.
So around 2.7, what you figured?
That's what I'm guessing, yeah. And a little bit of that depends on how much rock we put on these next few roads. You know, we've got just a few roads left. If we end up shorting the rock on that, it could be more. So, just kind of a ballpark.
Under 3 million.
Yeah, definitely under 3 million. Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, if we were to close that project out next week, if they were to get done at the beginning of the week, then Thursday we could possibly, going with our protocol, as a board, close that out. And that would make it to where those last payments could be made, correct? Without having to come back before the board and closing it out. And what I'm referring to is our new protocol is before we close each thing out.
We want to look at it.
If we want the total board's consensus rather than one person having to make that
We
decision.
can approve it contingent upon satisfaction of whoever y'all want to vote.
I'll put Mr. Joyner over
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
Put it on his satisfaction.
Involve Jeff and Cliff.
On the way.
And the nice thing about that would be we could wrap it up with a bow, give it to your wheeler guys to close out all those PWs, and that way everything's done.
Yeah, we
Well,
do
To
that.
try to get some money coming back.
So if we need to put that on the, wherever on the agenda.
Massey, you got that?
That's a good idea. That is a good idea.
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman, unless you got anything for me.
Culpeper Landing, what we're looking like. We applied for the grant.
We did. I have not heard a word on who got funded or didn't get funded. Probably need to contact somebody.
If-
FBIV.
Because I heard that we was funded for it, but that was previous. But anyways, if you'll find that out for me,
Yeah.
I may got bad information.
Okay. I'll try to find out from them what the deal is.
I got a question. You know, some meetings back, we talked about Strickland Landing and the
That
pavilion.
information.
Yes.
What were we supposed to do with that?
I don't know, has it fallen in yet?
No, but I thought you, I mean, weren't you gonna like look into some permitting and stuff to even touch that?
Well, I think there was some discussion a long time ago about what FEMA would or wouldn't pay for because the concrete had been undermined. You're talking about the pavilion that they tried to burn down, but it stopped burning and
It was undermined
by the
from the
river.
water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You talking about the Henson Crossroad?
Oh, Strickland Landing, gotcha.
Yeah,
Riprap on the shoreline.
right,
Yes, sir. We submitted for permits on that.
okay,
Army Corps and DEP.
okay.
We have not got them.
The same way Billy Lee Park. We got to fix that or tear it down.
Yeah,
Something's
I'm
gotta
sorry.
happen.
I was thinking Billy Lee Landing is
No,
what I was thinking.
that just resurfaced is what I'm saying, yesterday, and I got to thinking about it, but.
I've got pictures on my desk from this weekend on pictures of where the river and the wash is encroached on that slab.
Yep.
Can we find out the status of
I
that?
will. I'll check on it.
And
I
I
just-
just continue to sit on, in fact, we need to get a list of all
That's like it.
of the permits that we submitted
Yeah.
for, and just readdress them on all of them.
You walk underneath.
We're waiting on y'all for these
I'm asking.
projects.
Yes, sir.
Because there's some discussion from these small counties
Just makes your fingers sting.
in Washington DC. What are our problems? And that is a problem for us. And the money that it costs us is a problem for us,
Yep.
for the small counties.
Yep.
Wouldn't you agree? I mean, you know more about it than I do.
It's the amount of time it takes is unbelievable. But it's just one of those things that we've kind of learned to deal with. So,
Taking that building down at Billy Lee Park, I didn't even know it was still standing. That's what I made.
took that one down.
It's gone.
Oh, it is down? Okay.
The slab's still there though, right?
The slab is.
Yeah, that's what, that's the point. It's there, that's just dangerous.
New, ain't no slab there.
It's gone?
It's gone.
Well, never mind. Good job, guys.
And the building's at the yard.
Okay,
You know how to run a backhoe.
good job. Yeah, are we gonna do any sort of retainer there at that curve? Because if it's taking that building, it's gonna come on and get the roads or later. So we gotta put some rip wrap or something there.
Last time we were there, the last time I was down there, everything looked good.
Well, I promise you it's coming north.
Oh, it's gonna be.
It ain't gonna stop. If we got the building, it's coming on.
It looked good last time we were there.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor?
I have a couple quick things. One, I want to pull the board on what we call the bid building. We've been approached by a party that's interested in purchasing that building. And my question to the board is that something that you would like for us to pursue or not? If so, we will do the necessary things to, as far as an appraisal and things like that, to get the ball rolling. But there seems to be some serious interest in purchasing that building. I just wanted y'all's direction on that.
Let me say this. When Steve was in administrator, we put a new roof on that building. We were talking about OSC and that. They have called Jackie and sent emails and criticized the condition of that facility. And I think y'all have sent our maintenance people over. And even been some discussion about sending our building official over there. I would like to evaluate the building, number one, to find out if their complaints are justified. Right after they talked about the poor condition of this building, then they wanted to buy it. You understand?
Yeah.
My question is, why do you want to buy a facility that's it's not worthy of being there?
Well, I know the building does have some, I think, some maintenance concerns. The extent of what it would take to repair those as far as cost is unknown at this point.
And would we even consider selling that facility? I mean, it's right across from us. I mean, do we need it? Would we, you know, there's other agencies in there. Sir? And then what are they offering us for it? Have they thrown out a number?
It's a private bid. So by statute, you can't just sell to one party, you have to offer to the public.
Right.
What we would need to do is put it out for public bid and have a minimum reserve on that.
Yeah.
That's where your appraisal comes in, if you're
Yeah.
serious about it.
And I don't know that that would be just off the top of my mind, I don't know if it'd be wise for us to sell something so close. I'm thinking of the future.
Well, it depends on the building officials' determination on.
Yeah. Sure. but it's still a piece of ground.
That's one, well, my thing is that though, I mean, it won't hurt to go forward with getting in, the building official to look at it.
I thought we'd already done that. Jackie, do you know the status of that?
Oh, I have no, I was not with the building official, I don't involved with the building official.
What's the amount of rent we receive off that?
Did you get some?
I looked at it.
Robert's been over there about the flooding issue in the parking lot, they've looked at it a couple times, I think.
It wasn't once. And the
They're
other
talking
one's
about, but as far as the other building, I don't know about the building official going, and they're supposed to.
Yeah, something
That's
like
been
that.
taken care of.
I think, I had that conversation. Now that I'm thinking about it, I had that conversation with somebody that's no longer
Yes.
here.
That's what Jeff.
Commissioner, to your point, you're getting rent off the building,
Yeah.
but the way that lease is written, you've got a lot of expenses going into it.
That's what I'm getting at.
I mean, it's not a,
Are we spending taxpayers' money to let an occupant
I
dwell
don't
in the
know if you're
building?
spending taxpayers' money,
No.
but I don't think this is a moneymaker for you.
I
Well,
could-
that's what I'm saying, if it's not a money maker for us, then we gotta look into it.
It's maintaining and keeping up, but it's not making a lot of profit.
Well, that it's not maintaining, we have to put a roof on it.
It is, the lease is maintaining the building, or it was.
Well, what I'm getting
I
at,
met with them the other day.
Never do.
We met with the lady and
What are they paying us? I don't think it's going, I think the costs are changed.
I think it's 17,000 or something.
We should.
if we put,
17,000 a year.
well,
Think every thousand a month.
Isn't it a 2,389? I think.
But what I'm getting at is if you put a $40,000 roof on a building and you're breaking even, you're not breaking even.
No, I agree.
You know what I mean? So
But
we,
you ain't putting a $40,000 roof on it every year.
no, but undoubtedly we're running into a maintenance situation. It takes a long time if you're just continuously reoccurring costs, air conditioning units, so on and so forth, drainage and parking lots.
I think one of the comments that they made in the email was that they didn't think we was willing to allocate the necessary funds to keep the building up for them to continue to house it. I think it was some kind of like derogatory remarks
Yeah,
for
Marla
that
has talked to me
perceived
now.
it to be, but
They just, it was after a big rain, their parking lot was, it was aggravated. So,
well, it's, I mean, it's been something lighting and on and on and on.
It's been an air conditioner battle over there, I tell you, they battle you.
Is that
Jackie,
one-
did they get, were they upgraded as part of train?
I believe so, but that's the one that you have a couple different entities in, and the controls in one room, they shut the control out of the other room.
See, we have
The
a,
fighting against the entities, the biggest deal is one thing wants one thing, and then I make other people call me, these guys, they want this, these people want something to counteract that, it's just,
Big Ben is leasing a certain amount of space in that facility, which is not all of it. There's somebody else that we've got a mandate,
JJ and Health
unfunded state mandate that we have somebody else that's in the other side of it. But the people that's renting it is controlling the people that's not renting it. And they're fighting.
each entity is.
Oh, no, they love each other, they won't keep them there.
Right now, they do.
That's what they said. Just make it part of it.
Well, Jeff,
But you heard.
Jeff, Massey, Mr. Massey, what I'd like to see, this is what I want. I'd like to see what our revenue cost, what our revenue is annually, what our maintenance cost has been annually, and what problems the building has at this point. Whether we use our building official to determine that, our maintenance division to determine that, then I could,
Better make the decision.
then I'll have some way to make a decision on what we need to do, how we need to move forward
Just
with it.
let the two of them get together and do that, and build the maintenance, start, and the building official.
Yeah, and bring back something more.
In the contract, it says the leasehold will promptly pay all gas, water, sewer, solid waste, power, and electric rates and charges which may become payable during the term of the lease. So, I mean, we're dumping some expense in there, so we'll try to drill that down.
We're renegotiating.
And what would it cost to have the building appraised, or could our property appraiser do it himself?
No,
No?
we'd have to have it certified.
Well, I'm gonna she's certified. He's certified.
Who is?
Our property appraiser.
Praising mine.
He appraises mine every year. Why couldn't he do it?
We're
I'll sell yours before you praise it for me.
No,
I got some property I'm selling for what he's got it.
I will sell him that building what he's got it appraised for. Have you seen what he's got it appraised for? Look that up on your
It
computer.
is probably,
I promise you I'll sell that
for
right.
what we got it insured for.
We'll get this information together and do our due diligence here, but we're gonna let the people, because they want to call back on the status, if we wanted to be interested in selling it, and we'll just put them to pay.
that's what they said. Yeah.
I'll sell it to him right now.
Hey Jeff, on that, when you're looking at the costs, one of them that won't stand out in the normal billing would be those upgrades from train. You know what I mean? That won't be probably shown as just maintenance on the building because it's hidden in that larger contract with train.
And I think
So
we also-
whatever, but we're still gonna pay for it over time, you know, so.
I think we're cleaning it too.
We do.
So that's an expense that we're incurring.
And to be honest with you, I do not know all of the maintenance issues, so let me,
Our maintenance department should know that.
and I know they've been over there, but, you know, there's one concern to look at. If the building has these kind of issues, we're probably gonna have to sink some money into fix them. If they have the issues out here.
Just come back and tell us what it's
So I'll
got.
let you know. Okay.
Oh, yes.
One other item here real quick is the Communications Committee has a resolution, and in the resolution it states that an annual report will be given from the city chairman of that committee once a year in July. The committee has asked me to see if the board would be interested in making the reporting month in September, which is the last month of the fiscal year, simply from the standpoint of giving you a whole year picture of what they're looking at. And I know they're in the process now trying to get all their numbers together, but they came to me and asked if I would run that past the board to see if you would consider amending the resolution.
Jeff, that would be just a simple amendment of our resolution, correct? I wouldn't say why not, it'd be making sense for fiscal year.
Put it on, yeah, consent agenda. Yeah, I talked with Ms. Abel, and there's some issues with some grant monies coming in. I think there's some stuff that has been written out and some stuff they know about, and y'all been working together. I think it just make more sense.
If Ms. Abel brings it, just check mark it, okay?
And then I think my final thing that we've kind of skated over, we were going to talk a little bit about the millage, and I think we kind of tied that in with the impact fee. Thanks to Ms. Lorbell and Risha, they finally got to sit down with them, and they provided me some really good information. And one of the things is we are on a timeline to go ahead for the trim and getting the thing set. So based on what you have, the knowledge you have from this morning, we would need to go ahead and make some decisions on the millage at our next week's meeting.
I'm hoping that there'll be some additional information come from y'all this afternoon's budget meeting.
Yeah, we'll work on that, but
Yeah.
go ahead and put it on the agenda.
Okay. We have a budget committee meeting after this today.
If we still got live.
And Mr. Chairman, that's all I have unless you have anything else.
That's good.
How long is it going to take you?
It may take me 30, 40 minutes. Depending on how the alcohol goes, I may want to break for lunch for 30, 45 minutes and then come back.
Come back in an hour, 15.
1 o'clock.
1:15.
115. What you got? What we doing at?
Recess.
What time?